Good morning, everyone. And today we'll go through certain pages of the chapter, the preach, and we'll see the introduction to the doll and how horrific the scenario is. Today we are going to discuss. I wish you should also keep your books ready so that there should not be any kind of confusion and any mistake. And do underline and write down the word meanings, whatever I'm going to provide. And if you find any portion critical or difficult to you, kindly note that down so that I can explain you later during the live class. So here we go. Here is the fourth part of the chapter, the preach. Thank you. From here we'll start. Jayanta said, I had a lot of toys when I was small. My parents gave me practically everything I wanted, perhaps because I was their only child. But once I had Preach, I forgot all my other toys. I played only with him. A time came when I began to spend hours just talking to him. Our conversation had to be one sided because Preach, being a toy, non living object, can't speak. Of course, but Fritz had such a funny smile on his lips and such a look in his eyes that it seemed to me as though he could understand every word. But Fritz was lifelike, a miniature human. It seemed Fritz would understand each and every word spoken. Sometimes I wondered if he would actually converse with me, if I could speak to him in German. Now it seems like a childish fantasy. Now it seems very childish that how can Fritz speak to him? He speaks to speech in Indian language. So, being child, he used to think that if he could have spoken to Fritz in German, Fritz being German or European, could answer such thing easily. Now it seems like a childish fantasy. But at the time, the whole thing was very real to me. My parents did want me not to overdo things. That means overreact, or not to play too much with Fritz, which may cause which might cause some mental trouble. But I listened to no one. I had not yet been put in a school, so I had all the time in the world for preach. There was plenty of time for preach. Jayanta fell silent. I looked at my watch and realized it was 9:30 p.m. It was very quiet outside. We were sitting in the drawing room of the circuit house. An oil lamp burned in the room. I asked what happened to the doll. Jayanta was deep in thought. His answer to my question came so late that by the time I had started to think that he had not heard me at all, I had brought it to Bundi. It was destroyed here, said by Jayanta. Destroyed? How, Shankar? Jayanta sighed, took a long breath. We were sitting out on the lawn having tea. I had kept the doll by my side on the grass. I was not really old enough to have tea. But I insisted, and in the process, the cup tilted and some of the hot tea fell on my pants. I ran inside to change and come back to find Fritz had disappeared. I looked around and found quite soon that a couple of stray dogs were having a nice tug of war. That means they are pulling Fritz from either ends. Although he did not actually come apart, his face was battered. It was disfigured, spoiled, or disfigured beyond recognition, and his clothes were torn. In other words, Fritz did not exist for me anymore. He was dead. Literally, it was the end of Fritz. Few dogs, stray dogs, they mutilated, they spoiled the body of, especially the face of Fritz. And then Janta's story intrigued me. It was totally a confusing story, and Shankar got confused with this one. The last line is spoken by Shankar, page number 16. What could possibly happen after that? I arranged his funeral, that's all. Meaning, Shankar, I buried him under the deodar tree. I had wanted to make a coffin, which was after all European, especially from the Christian country, but I could find nothing, not even a little box. So in the end, I buried him just like that. He was buried without a box. At last, the mystery of the Deodar tree was resolved. A burial or preached. That is why this Janta was looking, searching for this Deodar tree. We went to bed at around 10. Our room was a large one, and our beds had been neatly made. Not being used to doing a lot of walking, I was feeling rather tired after the day's activities. Beside the bed was very comfortable. I fell asleep barely 10 minutes after hitting the pillow. So, being not habituated to long walk, they felt tired. Especially Shankar felt tired and he slept. A slight noise woke me little later. I turned on my side and found Jayanto sitting up on his bed. The table lamp by his bed was switched on, and in its light it was easy to see the look of anxiety on his face. I asked, "What is it? Are you not feeling well?" Instead answering my question, Jayanto asked me one himself. Do you think this circuit house got small animals? I mean, things like cat or mice? I should not be surprised if it does. Why? Something walked over my chest. That's what woke me. Rats and mice usually come in through drains, but I have never known them to climb on the bed. This is the second time I have woken up actually. The first time I had heard a shuffling noise near the window. Oh, if it was near the window, it's more likely to be a cat. Yes, but it's the end of page number 16, 17. So we'll move to the next page. Janta still sounded doubtful. I said, "Did not you see anything after you switched the light on?" Nothing, but then I did not switch it on immediately after opening my eyes. To tell you the truth, I felt rather scared at first, but when I did switch it on, there was nothing to be seen. That means whatever came in must be in the room. Well, since both the doors are bolted from inside, I rose quickly and searched under the bed, behind our suitcase, and everywhere else in the room. I could not find anything. The door to the bathroom was closed. I opened it and was about to start another search when Joyanta called out to me softly, "Shankar." I came back to the room. Joyanta was staring hard at the cover of his quilt. Quilt means bedding. Upon seeing me, he pulled a portion of it near the lamp and said, "Look at this." I bent over to the cloth and saw tiny brown circular marks on it. I said, "Well, this could have been made by a cat." Jayanta did not say anything. It was obvious that something had happened, had deeply disturbed him. But it was 2:30 in the morning. I simply had to get little more sleep, or I knew I would just keep feeling tired. And we had plans of doing a lots of sightseeing the following day. So after murmuring a few words such as "Don't worry, I am here with you," and who knows, those marks may have been on your quilt already when you went to bed. I switched off the light once more and lay down. I had no doubts that Joyto had only had a bad dream. All those memories of his childhood had upset him, obviously, and that was what had led to him his dreaming of the cat walking on his chest. I slept soundly for the rest of the night. If there were further disturbances, Jayanta did not tell me about them, but I could see in the morning that he had not slept well. So here is the conflict in the story. And just like other horror stories, what we have suspense here. And further we will see the consequences or the conclusion of the story. In the next video, we'll try to complete the reading of the story. So up to this much today. Thank you.